Hello and welcome to SalesSpeak Studio. My name is Suresh Balasubramanian and it is my pleasure to introduce and equip you with the tools and techniques to be successful at sales. In the last episode, I covered the basics of negotiations and customer objection handling. To be able to handle customer negotiation and objections, you need a lot of practice. But above all, you need to be able to get inside your customer's head. Welcome to neuroscience. More specifically, welcome to the neuroscience of customer relationships. Neuro is another word for brain. It is about the science behind how behaviors are formed and how these behaviors manifest in real life. It is important to understand the psychology behind behavior formation and manifestation, as this knowledge will help prepare you to identify and deal with it when you see this occurring in your customer environment. So what we're going to learn today is the brain science behind your customers' behaviors and how they arrive at decisions. Let's spend a few minutes going over some theory of neuroscience. At a very simplistic level, you can imagine the brain to have two distinct parts. The first part is called the prefrontal cortex. Let's call it the logical brain because that's what it is. This is that part of the brain that is reflective in nature. That is, it takes time to process the information, it is very logical, and it is very slow and very effortful. The second part is what is called the limbic system. It is also sometimes referred to as the primitive brain, or the reptilian brain, or the survival brain. It is that part of our brain that is the seat of all emotions. It is reflexive, that is, it is very fast and effortless. This brain also hosts certain beliefs that we are all conditioned to by nature and by nurture. These are deep rooted beliefs that we generally hold on for the rest of our lives. The emotional brain has only four survival functions. Now, when two people come face to face, they decide if the other one is to be trusted or not. And if not, then should they stand and fight? Or should they leave, which is flight? Or should they stay still and do nothing? Or lastly, should they join a like-minded group to seek sanctuary and security? The primitive brain in human beings are like animals, and these have only these four responses. Any input that we receive, whether it is verbal, written, or visual, is first received and processed by our emotional brain. Then this input goes to the logical brain for further processing before an output or a response happens, which we refer to as behavior. This is true for any and every setting, whether it is in our personal life or professional lives. Now that we have a basic understanding of how the brain processes information, let's look at the behaviors in some more detail. When you interact with another human being, what you will see and hear, in other words, what is visible will be their position and their actions. Position is the stand or the view that we take on a specific situation or on a specific topic. Action is what we do. Remember, our positions and actions, or what is visible, is just a very small portion of our overall behavior. One thing to remember is that most of the times our emotional behaviors are not explicit, meaning that it is not said or expressed verbally. Just like an iceberg where over 80% of it is under the surface and invisible, what is spoken, unsaid, and invisible are our beliefs, biases, and our experiences. Belief is a value system that gets formed at birth. These are fed by nature and nurture. We generally hold on to these beliefs throughout our lives. Now, the intensity with which we may hold these beliefs may increase or decrease depending upon the situation. Biases are very contextual and cognitive, meaning that these are acquired and amplified by specific circumstances that support our beliefs. Finally, experiences are what we go through, and these also fuel our beliefs and biases. Now, when you think about behaviors in a professional work-related environment, There are two distinct sets of what we call motivators that determine and shape our beliefs, biases, experiences, positions, and actions. The first category is called organizational motivators. These are quite straightforward. These are things that are tied to organizational goals, which in most cases are quantifiable and measurable. So, for example, if I was the chief marketing officer of a company, one of my operational goals could be to achieve a higher market share. So, everything that I do, including my posturing, my position, and my actions that I take, will be to further the market share of my product or service. The second category is known as individual or personal motivators. There are a lot of things that motivate us and shape our actions and positions. There are broadly 9 motivators that drive us. For example, I could be motivated by money and power, or someone could be motivated by the need to achieve a higher purpose and seek out challenges. Or someone's motivating factor could be to keep things under control and stable and harmonious. In short, every one of us can have a different set of motivator that determines how we show up and how we behave. These motivators, like beliefs and biases, are generally not visible. There are ways and means to unearth and interpret these that I shall teach you. So, personal motivators and organizational motivators are what fuel and reinforce our behaviors in a workplace setting. Let's look at a couple of practical examples of how these beliefs, biases, experiences, positions, and actions manifest in a customer environment. You may have a person who harbors a deep rooted belief that their country lags behind other countries when it comes to manufacturing, say, quality products. This person can carry an inherent bias that is a result of various factors. In this case, their belief system is because of a bias that they've acquired through a trusted publication that has put out a study saying that MNC products are of better quality than domestic ones. Finally, a set of experience also lends credence to their belief system that results in their beliefs and positions. Now, your customer will not talk openly or tell you about these beliefs and biases. You have to be able to unearth these. These beliefs, biases, and experiences is what will result in the position and actions that they take, which is that foreign brands are generally better in quality than domestic brands, and they favor and purchase only foreign or MNC brands. This is what you will see and hear. This is what will be visible. Let's see another example. You may know several people who actually believe that insurance is a waste of money. Now, this belief also gets strengthened by the bias that insurance companies only process a very small percentage of claims. This might result in a position that the person takes, which is that they will not take an insurance policy unless it is mandated by law. And how that manifests in action is that they avoid insurance agents. There is a famous economic theory called the prospect theory that says that human beings in general do not always take rational decisions. More often than not, human beings are attuned to taking decisions emotionally and then justifying it rationally. Uncovering these deep rooted beliefs and biases can help you work with your customer to drive favorable outcomes. In the next session, we shall discuss the ways and means to read, understand, and respond to your customers' emotional cues, that is, their beliefs and biases. We have developed a behavioral model that identifies 64 unique personality types on the basis of their limbic and logical behaviors. We shall look at few examples of how some of these personality types that you may encounter in your customer organization and what is the most effective way to break through and be perceived as a trusted advisor by your customer. I hope you found this session valuable and that it has given you some useful insights on how behaviors are formed and how to interpret customer behaviors. The science to behavior formation is a very complex topic and a very vast one. Connect with me one on one to learn more about this fascinating topic and how it can help you forge deeper relationship with your customers. Every week, I shall teach you strategies as well as useful tools and techniques to have powerful sales conversations with your customer. Share this video with your colleagues and friends who might benefit from it. Subscribe to my channel to get notified about new videos and updates. Finally, I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know your thoughts, questions, or topics that you would like me to cover in future sessions. I look forward to seeing you with my next video. Until then, happy selling.